Hey everybody, this is Heartless Spartan here with another Monster High Toy Talk review. Today, I have the Welcome Committee Frankie Stein doll. Now, I believe for a while there, people weren't sure whether or not this one was going to happen, and that it may have gotten canceled. Though here it is. This Frankie does happen to also be an online store exclusive for Amazon. I didn't even know it was released. I just happened across it at random when I searched Monster High, and it never appeared in the newly released dolls section either. Anyways, let's get into the review. Okay, here we have Frankie out of the box with all of her accessories and the additional poster that comes in the box, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. First, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the doll. Let's get some light over here. There we go. All right. So I do kind of like the makeup on this Frankie. There's not too much on there. I kind of like it when they have the lighter makeup. She's got some slightly rosy cheeks. She's got a few different colors around her eyes there. What is that? Like eyeliner or whatever. Then, of course, she has the two different colored eyes. The blue in the right eye, the green in the left, and her lightning bolts in the pupils. Which is always interesting. I always seem to forget about the little shapes in the pupil. So every time I do this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's their, like the black lipstick. That's really cool. It's a very, very dark black. Like it's not like a matte. Like it's a nice, very dark, shiny, glossy black. All right. For her earrings, little lightning bolts, a bit of a flash behind it hanging from safety pins on either side. Now her hair came out of the box quite nice. The end might be a little bit frazzled, but I otherwise like her hair. It's very long, very nice and full. I like the variety of colors, and I like the blue streaks that are in it as well. That's a nice color blue. And anytime they put, I think braids are pretty, so anytime they put braids in the doll's hair, I'm like, okay, I really like that. Little black rubber band tying it off at the end there. Although it's like a braid that also turns into like a ponytail. But then it kind of gets mixed into the rest of her long hair there. But she has really nice hair. I like that. They did really well with this one. They put some... I put quite a bit into this one. All right. Her outfit here. I do like these kind of like armband tube sleeves. Those have a pretty neat pattern to them, and they're like this nice kind of stretchy fabric that it doesn't like slide, like it doesn't fall, but it is a pretty nice fabric that's on there, and I like the way it looks. Now the school uniform tank top I thought was kind of odd, but Frankie kind of pulls it off in her own way with that kind of formal counterculture style she's got going on here. Now this tie and collar are like vinyl, but they're kind of like sewn onto the tank top there. And if we continue onward, Frankie's showing off a little bit of belly there, getting her hair tangled. Her belt looks pretty cool. I like the belt. A few different straps, lots of studs. Got a chain hanging down that goes all the way around back. Nice little lightning bolt detail on there. But I really like is this skelet buckle here, but with the Frankenstein's monster kind of style to it, with the bolts on the side of the head and the stitching across the forehead. I think that's pretty cool. Now these pants, they look interesting. Kind of wish they were regular fabric though, but this is like also a type of vinyl. And I feel like this is that type of material that's going to dry rot over time no matter what. Like I've seen on a lot of like Barbie dolls with like similar materials from like many, many years ago. And especially around this joint here where it flexes a lot. I could see that coming apart eventually, just kind of on its own. Especially if you bend that joint a lot there. But I do find that pattern interesting. I just wish it was actual, like, cloth fabric instead of this vinyl. Even though it gives that, like, kind of neat, shiny, smooth look to it, I much rather would have had, like, a cloth plaid. I do kind of always find it interesting how Frankie styles herself to just kind of show off the prosthetic limb. So it's missing the pant leg there. Of course, have some graffiti on the prosthetic. I always like the castings of the prosthetic as well, all the little details. And then the boots have this pretty neat gradient on there, which is pretty cool. Have a big bolt on the top on either side. Then on one side it says "Be yourself." On the other, "Be unique" with a little skullette. Right? Be a monster. Then on the bottoms we have some large lightning bolts on the treads. So I do like her outfit. They don't do the vinyl too often, so I don't think that's a big deal. Just store it well, and don't bend it too much, and it'll kind of last a good long time without any issues. But I think that's a pretty cute Frankie. I like that doll. Now, we'll go ahead and get into the accessories now. We'll start with this jacket. Now, again, there's that kind of like shiny vinyl on this one too, and the sleeves. So that kind of worries me a little bit as well with longevity. Honestly, by that time, I don't think I'm going to be that worried about it by the time anything actually does happen to this. But in the meantime, it actually does have a pretty cool style to it. The very reflective, shiny silver on that jacket is pretty cool. And, of course, she has her stitches all around the sleeves. Some nice Monster High patches on there as well. That's actually pretty cool. I do like that. Let's see. We have Watsy here. Little like lizard dragon tail on Watsy. I got like a kind of like a pride theme going with this too, I believe. Little kerchief on there is kind of cool. That's a nice touch. Like, they didn't have to do that, but they still did that. I kind of like that they did that. Like the kerchief on Watsy, and it has a little Velcro backing around back there. So you can take it on and off if you want. Set that over there with Frankie. Let's see. Then got like a rainbow pattern. Well, it could be paint, but with the Monster High stuff, I tend to refer to it as like the blood splatter. Yeah, but that's kind of cool the way that looks in the lightning bolt shape. Little keychain hanging down there. Oh, it's a light bulb. What is that, like a zipper? I can't quite tell. That's nice. And then we got this transparent, or well, translucent sort of glittery backpack. Let's see, how does this open up? Does it? Oh, it just kind of peels at the top a little bit. No snapping parts to it. It just kind of opens. It's like semi-soft, somewhat malleable. Kind of a neat looking backpack. Interesting kind of pride theme they're going with there. Let's see. We do get a little Monster High sticker. I was able to like peel this back a little bit earlier. So yeah, it is a sticker. The rainbow background on there. It's cool. All right. Now when these first came out with some of the other dolls, like it took me a little bit to actually figure out what these were, but they're kind of like the old cameras. I think they were Polaroids, where they take a picture, and then the picture would exit the top or some slot on it, and then it has like sort of like a little camera bag strap for the doll to carry it around. I like how it has its own like little teeth, and the camera lens looks like an eyeball. I like it when they make the accessories like little creatures as well. And then have a little picture of the welcome committee team just kind of doing a little chant. It's kind of neat. Just kind of stick that back in there for now. Let's see, we get just a little itty bitty pen. The little finger loop on there so the doll can hold it. We do get a clipboard. Monster High, welcome meeting to-do list. I like how there's 2 things on there. New member introduction, and then a snack break. Nice Monster High logo on the back. I like how even there's like a little bit of like blood or goo dripping down at the bottom there. That's just kind of cast into that. That's kind of neat. Skullettes all over the place. All right, and of course, as the welcome committee promised, they also come with snacks. Drip sip, huh? Some sort of like cherry soda. I like how there's like the unreadable nutrition facts and stuff on the back, but that's a nice detail. I do kind of like these. Here's one for Claudine. Oh, well, that would be what? Draculaura? Is Draculaura on the welcome committee? Oh, yeah, she is. All right. Let's see. Claudine, Eclipse Sip. Oh, here we go. Here's Frankie's. Zip Sip. I always think those little decals are neat on there. Let's see, yeah, they get their own snacks too. Let's see. Are those cookies? Those look like those kind of like frosted cookies. It's kind of neat. I like how the paint on this looks like an actual chip bag too. Moon chips. Harvest Moon Cheddar. I think Claudine and I would get along, really, like the cheddar chips, although I don't really eat chips anymore. I got past that. All right. Watts. They look like they might be sour something. Sour cookies? Sour gummies? Who knows? Okay. Like how the little like lime thing also has fangs. All right, now Frankie also came with this welcome committee poster. It's like doll sized, but pretty decent size. I didn't like how it was taped in there, and even trying to be careful, this tore on the inside of even like the little bag that it's in, which kind of bothered me. And I'm not even sure if I tore it or if it was already torn in there. But the neat thing is, it also comes with a larger poster of it. Just kind of in this bag. Let's go ahead and take that out real quick. Let's see if I can name them right. Draculaura, Deuce, Claudine, Laguna, Cleo, Frankie. Welcome committee meeting at 3 o'clock. Free snacks. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a neat poster. I wanted them the tongue twisted. I wanted them to do more of these, especially the style that were in the real drama, kind of like pre-production dolls. Those were cool. I wanted them to do more stuff like that. Now the thing about this is like in weird dimensions, and I'll just kind of add those up onto the screen. But I think kind of framing this might be a little bit difficult because of that. I'm not sure how common like a frame to fit that in would be. So we'll just have to see. All right. There's Frankie. Pretty nice doll. Lots of accessories. Like the hair was really nice. The outfit's cute. Has that pride theme going for it, which is pretty cool. I do kind of like that they kind of worked that into the figures here. I do like this Watsy. That's cool. I like that they added the kerchief to that. All right. Cute doll. Let's go ahead and get into the montage. So this Frankie is pretty cute. The doll has very full hair with pretty colors, the makeup was simple, and all of the details were spot on. I specifically like the shiny jacket and the armband sleeves. I thought those were neat. I did like the neckerchief on Watsy. That was a nice touch. What worries me a little for longevity were the vinyl type materials used for the pants and the jacket. It appears like a type of material to me that would dry rot and flake over time no matter what is done to preserve it. Though, in the meantime, it does look pretty nice. The Monster High mantra on the bottom of the boots is a great addition to the theme of the set. I understand that Frankie is the representative pride character in Generation 3 Monster High, and even I noticed how that's been adopted by the community. And Mattel ran with that theme for this figure and came up with some pretty nice, unique accessories. Overall, I'd say this is a pretty good Frankie that nearly slipped under my radar. But I have no regrets picking this one up. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Would you like to see more mini posters come with the dolls? I certainly would. I really want to see more cool posters like the real drama dolls had. Even better if they released full-scale posters with Trends International or Displate for premium tier posters. This has been Heartless Spartan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.